he said, John, the reason I have more referrals, deal flow, access, retention, I figured out a simple truth in business 35 years ago when I started the firm. And that's if you invest in and take care of the family in business, everything else takes care of itself.
That's it.
So that was like the mic drop moment. That was like the 2x4 upside the head. That was like, oh my God, this has nothing to do with the stupid knives. Paul understands reciprocity and investing in relationships and taking care of the people around the people. And so I'm like, I want to be Paul. I was literally, I'm like 20, I'm Paul's 60. I want to be Paul when I grow up. So I'm going to start modeling success, right? I'm going to start modeling what he's doing. And so instead of buying beer in college, I was investing $500 a month and buying 1 or 2, carving sets of Cutco. And I'd engrave the CEO's name, like a $200 million company I'd want to get a meeting with. I put a handwritten note inside, said, carve out 5 minutes for me. I promise to worth your time. I mail it off from my dorm room. I'm like 21. And I get a phone call in my dorm room. This is before cell phones were big. And it's the CEO, Jim's assistant, Susie. She's like, hey, we got your package. Jim was super impressed. He wants to meet with you next Tuesday. I'm like, frick, I got class next Tuesday. So I'm skipping class. I'm wearing the one suit I have on. I'm going into the room. It's like the mahogany boardroom. Yeah. Like Glengarry, Glenn Ross kind of situation. I'm like about ready to crap my pants because I'm like so nervous. And in walks Jim. He's like, looks confused. He's like, are you the John Rulin that sent me that package? And I said, yes, sir. And he'd be like, man, I thought you'd be like some seasoned sales executive, like in their 50s.
Right.
I'm like, I'm really confused. Are you here to sell me knives? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I said, no, sir, I'm actually here to help you and your 1,000 sales reps do exactly what I did to you to your top 10,000 relationships. And that was like his jaw at the ground. He's like, you're good.
Yeah.
So we talked for about an hour. I walked out of there with a PO for 1,000 knife sets. And at the time, it was Cutco's biggest order that they'd ever seen.
Yeah. And
so it was at that point, I was like, I can, continue to go down med school path, or I can see if I started to notice nobody was teaching people in business.
Yeah.
Like people would do dinners, rounds of golf, ball game tickets, but nobody was teaching people how to really build real relationships that would drive towards revenue. Most of the time it was just check the box to be nice. And so I put med school on hold. I kept mimicking what Paul was doing and built out this framework. And we call it giftology, but really people don't care about the gifts.